15 ancient Japanese secrets that will transform your home forever. Picture this. You walk into a friend's home and instantly feel a wave of calm wash over you. The space isn't large, it doesn't have expensive furniture, but something about it feels absolutely magical. Every corner breathes serenity. Every surface tells a story of intentional living, and somehow, even in the smallest rooms, there's an overwhelming sense of space and peace. Now, close your eyes and think about your own home. Does it give you that same feeling? Or does walking through your front door trigger stress, overwhelm, and that nagging voice saying, "I really need to get this place together"? Here's what most people don't realize. The difference between a chaotic home and a sanctuary isn't money, size, or even natural organizing talent. It's knowledge. Specifically, ancient Japanese wisdom that has been quietly transforming homes for over 1,000 years. Today, I'm going to share with you 15 time-tested Japanese principles that will revolutionize not just how your home looks, but how it feels, functions, and supports your daily life. These aren't complicated systems or expensive solutions. They're simple, profound practices that work with your natural rhythms instead of against them. But before we dive in, I need you to do something. If you're ready to finally create the peaceful, organized home you've always dreamed of, hit that subscribe button right now and ring the notification bell. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. And if this content helps transform your space, I'd be incredibly grateful if you'd share it with someone else who needs this transformation too. Introduction: The Japanese Difference. Have you ever wondered why Japanese homes, even those tucked into the tiniest Tokyo apartments, radiate such profound tranquility? Why their spaces feel expansive despite being compact? Why their organization systems seem to maintain themselves effortlessly? The secret isn't discipline, as many assume. It's not even tradition in the way we typically understand it. The answer lies in a completely different philosophy of living, one that views the home not as a storage unit for possessions, but as a living ecosystem that either supports or drains your life energy. For centuries, Japanese culture has understood something that Western society is just beginning to grasp. Your external environment is a direct reflection of your internal state, and by transforming one, you inevitably transform the other. These 15 principles I'm about to share aren't just organizing tips. They're life philosophies that happen to manifest in beautifully organized homes. They address the root causes of domestic chaos, overwhelm, disconnection, and the modern epidemic of having too much stuff competing for too little space and attention. Each secret builds upon the others, creating a comprehensive system that doesn't just tidy your home, but fundamentally changes your relationship with your living space. You'll discover how to create breathing room in cramped quarters, how to make cleaning feel like meditation rather than drudgery, and how to establish systems that maintain themselves with minimal effort. But here's what's most remarkable. These principles work regardless of your home's size, your budget, or how overwhelming your current situation feels. They work because they're based on universal truths about how humans thrive in organized, intentional spaces. Secret number 1. The Usuji Ritual. Sacred cleaning as spiritual renewal. Let me ask you something. Have you ever spent an entire Saturday cleaning your house, only to feel like the energy of the space remained somehow heavy and stagnant? You scrubbed every surface, organized every shelf, yet something invisible seemed unchanged? This phenomenon reveals a fundamental misunderstanding about what cleaning actually accomplishes. In our culture, we clean to remove dirt and restore appearance. But in Japan, there exists a practice called Usuji, a form of sacred cleaning that goes far beyond surface maintenance to create genuine energetic renewal. Usuji recognizes that our homes accumulate more than dust and clutter. They gather stagnant energy, forgotten intentions, and the residual emotions of daily life. Traditional cleaning addresses only the visible layer, leaving the deeper energetic buildup untouched. The practice of Usuji transforms cleaning from a chore into a ritual of renewal. It's not about cleaning faster or more efficiently. It's about cleaning with presence, intention, and reverence for the space that shelters your life. How to practice Usuji. Begin by setting aside dedicated time for this practice. Turn off your phone, dismiss distractions, and approach your space with the mindset of tending to something sacred. Choose one room and begin by removing everything that can be moved. This isn't just about access, it's about giving the space permission to breathe. Clean every surface as if you were preparing the room for someone you deeply love. Pay attention to forgotten areas, the tops of door frames, the corners where walls meet ceiling, the spaces behind furniture that rarely see light. These neglected areas often hold the most stagnant energy. As you work, breathe consciously and notice how the energy of the room shifts. Open windows to invite fresh air circulation. When you've finished, pause for a moment of appreciation. Notice what's changed not just visually, but energetically. Many practitioners establish a monthly Usuji ritual, treating it as essential self-care rather than household maintenance. Some light incense or play meditation music, transforming the experience into a moving meditation. The profound benefits. When you practice Usuji regularly, something remarkable happens. Your home begins to maintain its cleanliness more naturally. The energy shift affects everyone who lives there, creating an unconscious motivation to preserve the sanctity of the space. More importantly, you develop a deeper connection with your home, transforming it from a place you maintain into a sanctuary that nurtures you. Secret number 2. The principle of Danshari. Conscious liberation through letting go. Here's a scenario that might sound familiar. You're standing in your bedroom, staring at a closet packed with clothes, yet feeling like you have absolutely nothing to wear. Or perhaps you're trying to organize a storage room, but you're paralyzed by the sheer volume of items that you might need someday, but haven't touched in years. This isn't a failure of organization, it's the natural consequence of accumulation without intention. It's what happens when we collect possessions without regularly evaluating their place in our current lives. Enter Danshari, a Japanese philosophy that literally translates to refuse, dispose, separate. But Danshari is much more profound than simple decluttering. It's a practice of conscious relationship with material possessions that prevents accumulation from becoming overwhelming in the first place. Danshari operates on 3 levels. Dan, refuse. Learning to decline items that don't serve your current life, even if they're free, discounted, or seem potentially useful. Sha, dispose. Releasing items that once served you but no longer align with who you are today. Re, separate. Developing the wisdom to distinguish between possessions that add value to your life and those that merely occupy space. Implementing Danshari in your daily life. Start small to avoid overwhelm. Choose a single drawer, shelf, or corner of a room. Pick up each item individually. This physical contact is crucial. As you hold each object, ask yourself 3 questions. Does this serve a current purpose in my life? Does interacting with this item bring me joy or satisfaction? If I were starting fresh today, would I choose to bring this into my home? Be honest with your answers. That book you bought with good intentions but never read? The kitchen gadget you were excited about but never use? The clothes you keep hoping will fit again someday? These items aren't adding value to your life. They're creating mental clutter and decision fatigue. The practice of gratitude is essential in Danshari. As you release items, thank them mentally for their service. This might seem unnecessary, but it prevents the guilt that often accompanies letting go and acknowledges the role these possessions played in your life's journey. Consider establishing a release basket in your home, a designated container where you place items you've identified for removal. Once monthly, donate or properly dispose of the contents. This prevents removed items from migrating back into your living space. The liberation effect. Practitioners of Danshari report a profound sense of mental clarity and emotional lightness. When you're surrounded only by possessions that serve your current life, decision-making becomes easier, cleaning becomes faster, and your environment begins to reflect your authentic self, rather than your past selves or aspirational futures. Your home transforms from a museum of who you used to be into a launching pad for who you're becoming. Secret 3. The Tateiku Method. Vertical organization for maximum efficiency. Think about how you currently store your clothes. If you're like most people, you probably stack similar items on top of each other. T-shirts in one pile, sweaters in another, pants folded and layered. This seems logical until you need the shirt at the bottom of the stack, which requires disrupting the entire arrangement. Now multiply this scenario across every storage area in your home. Kitchen cabinets where you can't see what's behind the first row, bathroom drawers where items get buried and forgotten, office supplies stacked in boxes that become archaeological expeditions. This horizontal storage method creates invisible clutter, items that are technically organized but practically inaccessible. The Japanese solution is Tateiku, or vertical organization, which revolutionizes how you store and access your possessions. The psychology of vertical storage. Vertical organization works because it aligns with how our minds naturally catalog information. When items are visible and equally accessible, our brains can process options more quickly and make decisions more efficiently. There's no mental energy wasted trying to remember what's buried beneath other items. Implementing Tateiku throughout your home. In clothing storage, instead of stacking folded clothes, learn the Japanese folding method that creates compact rectangles that stand upright. Arrange these folded items side by side, like books on a shelf. Every piece of clothing becomes visible and accessible without disturbing others. In kitchen organization, use drawer dividers, shelf risers, and lazy Susans to create vertical layers where every item has its own designated space. Spices, canned goods, and cooking utensils should all be visible at a glance. In bathroom storage, utilize vertical space with over-toilet shelving, wall-mounted organizers, and drawer systems that allow you to see every item without moving others. In office and craft areas, file folders, supply containers, and reference materials should be organized so you can access any item without excavation. The tools you need. Effective Tateiku doesn't require expensive storage systems. Simple dividers can be created from small boxes or containers you already have. The key is creating defined spaces for different categories of items and maintaining the vertical arrangement. The immediate impact. Once you experience Tateiku organization, it's difficult to return to horizontal storage. The time savings are immediate. No more dismantling entire storage areas to reach one item. The visual clarity reduces stress and decision fatigue. And maintenance becomes effortless because every item has an obvious home. Most remarkably, Tateiku often reveals that you need less storage space than you thought. When everything is visible and accessible, you naturally become more selective about what you keep. Secret number 4. The concept of Ma, the sacred power of empty space. Western interior design often operates under the principle that every space should be filled with something purposeful or beautiful. We hang art on every wall, place objects on every surface, and fill every corner with furniture or decoration. The result, even in beautifully decorated homes, can feel visually overwhelming and psychologically claustrophobic. Western aesthetics embrace a radically different approach through the concept of Ma, the intentional creation and appreciation of empty space. Ma recognizes that emptiness isn't absence, it's presence of a different kind. Understanding the philosophy of Ma. In Japanese philosophy, Ma represents the pause between notes that makes music possible, the silence between words that gives speech meaning, the breath between movements that creates grace. Applied to interior spaces, Ma is the emptiness that allows the eye to rest, the mind to settle, and the space to breathe. Ma solves the problem of visual overwhelm that plagues many modern homes. Even when everything is clean and organized, spaces can feel busy, anxious, or demanding if there's no relief for the senses. Creating Ma in your living spaces. Surface management. Choose 1 or 2 meaningful objects for display rather than filling every surface. A single beautiful vase has more impact than 5 decorative items competing for attention. Wall space. Allow walls to have areas of emptiness. This doesn't mean barren rooms, but rather thoughtful placement that gives each piece of art or decoration space to be appreciated. Furniture arrangement. Resist the urge to push all furniture against walls or fill every corner. Allow for pathways and open areas that create visual flow. The entrance effect. In Japanese homes, the genkan entrance area is kept deliberately simple and clear. This immediately signals a transition from the outside world's chaos to the home's tranquility. Practical applications. Start by identifying one area of your home that feels visually cluttered despite being organized. Remove half the items and live with the space for a week. Notice how the remaining items seem more important and beautiful when they're not competing for attention. In bedrooms, embrace the power of clear surfaces. A nightstand with only a lamp and perhaps one meaningful book creates more peace than one crowded with various items. The psychological benefits. Ma provides psychological rest in our overstimulated world. When your eyes have places to rest within your home, your mind follows suit. The space begins to feel larger, more luxurious, and more calming. Visitors often comment that homes practicing Ma feel expensive or sophisticated, even when the furnishings are modest. This is the power of intentional emptiness, creating a sense of abundance rather than scarcity. Secret number 5. Ishun-Ichi, the transformative power of present moment action. How many times have you walked past a piece of trash on the floor thinking, "I'll pick that up later"? How often do you leave dishes in the sink, clothes on the chair, or mail on the counter with the intention of dealing with them when you have more time? These tiny delays seem harmless individually, but they compound into what feels like constant domestic chaos. The Japanese practice of Ishun-Ichi offers a revolutionary solution. One moment, one life. The principle that each small action, done with presence in the current moment, has the power to transform your entire environment. The philosophy behind Ishun-Ichi. Ishun-Ichi recognizes that procrastination on small tasks creates a psychological weight that affects your entire experience of home. Each delayed action becomes a mental bookmark, occupying cognitive resources and creating a subtle sense of being overwhelmed by undone tasks. The practice proposes that if something can be completed in 1 minute or less, it should be done immediately, with full attention and intention. Implementing Ishun-Ichi. The 1-minute rule. Before leaving any room, scan for tasks that can be completed in 60 seconds or less. Put the book back on the shelf, straighten the throw pillows, put the glass in the dishwasher. Transition rituals. Use natural transition moments to practice Ishun-Ichi. When you come home, immediately hang up your coat and put your shoes in their proper place. When you finish eating, wash your dish before leaving the kitchen. Mindful completion. The key isn't speed, but presence. When you fold a towel, fold it with attention. When you wipe a counter, do it with awareness. These small acts become moments of meditation rather than rushing through tasks. The compound effect. What makes Ishun-Ichi remarkable is how small actions compound into large results. When you consistently handle 1-minute tasks immediately, they never accumulate into overwhelming cleaning sessions. Your home begins to maintain itself through these micro-actions. More importantly, practicing presence in small tasks develops mindfulness that extends to larger areas of life. You begin to approach challenges with the same present moment awareness that transformed your domestic routine. Breaking the procrastination cycle. Ishun-Ichi interrupts the cycle of avoidance that turns simple maintenance into overwhelming projects. Instead of facing a sink full of dishes, you maintain a clean sink through immediate action. Instead of weekend cleaning marathons, you maintain order through daily presence. The practice also addresses the emotional component of procrastination. When you complete small tasks immediately, you experience frequent moments of accomplishment and closure, building momentum and confidence for larger projects. Secret number 6. Conso, the art of intentional simplicity. Scan your living room right now. How many objects can you count? Picture frames, decorative items, books, electronics, furniture pieces, plants, candles, and countless other items all competing for visual attention. Even if everything is perfectly organized, the sheer quantity of stimuli can create a subtle feeling of unrest. Kanso, the Japanese principle of intentional simplicity, offers a different approach. Rather than filling spaces with beauty, Kanso creates beauty through restraint, choosing fewer items of higher quality and greater meaning. Understanding true simplicity. Kanso isn't about deprivation or sterile minimalism. It's about curation, choosing each item in your environment with intention, and ensuring that every object either serves a clear function or brings genuine joy. The result is spaces that feel serene, sophisticated, and deeply personal. The mental load of visual clutter. Research in environmental psychology confirms what practitioners of Kanso have long understood. Visual complexity increases cognitive load and stress levels. When your environment requires constant visual processing, your mind can't fully rest, even in your own home. Kanso addresses this by reducing the number of decisions your brain must make when scanning a room. With fewer items to process, your mind can relax and focus on what truly matters. Applying Kanso room by room. Living areas. Choose one focal point per room, perhaps a piece of art, a plant, or a beautiful piece of furniture. Allow this focal point to be the star, supporting it with minimal, complementary elements. Bedroom sanctuaries. Create spaces for rest by keeping surfaces clear and decorations minimal. A bedroom practicing Kanso might have only a bed, one piece of art, and a single plant, yet feel more luxurious than a room filled with accessories. Kitchen functionality. In kitchens, Kanso means keeping countertops clear except for frequently used items. Store small appliances unless they're used daily. Choose quality over quantity in cookware and tools. The selection process. When deciding what stays and what goes, ask yourself, does this item serve my current lifestyle? Does it bring me joy when I see or use it? Does it contribute to the feeling I want this space to create? If I were furnishing this room from scratch today, would I choose this item? The Kanso mindset. Practicing Kanso changes how you acquire new items. Before bringing anything new into your home, consider not just where it will go, but how it will affect the overall harmony of the space. This mindset prevents accumulation and ensures that everything in your home is thereby conscious choice. The profound results. Homes practicing Kanso are often described as feeling expensive or designed, even when furnished with modest items. This is because simplicity allows the quality and beauty of individual pieces to shine. Your eye isn't distracted by competing elements, so it can appreciate the craftsmanship, texture, and beauty of what remains. More importantly, simplified spaces create mental clarity. When your environment isn't demanding constant visual processing, you have more mental energy for creativity, relationships, and the activities that truly matter to you. Secret number 7. Otagai-sama, transforming home care through shared responsibility. Picture the typical household dynamic around cleaning and organization. One person, often the woman, carries the primary responsibility for maintaining the home, while others in the household are occasional helpers at best. This creates resentment, exhaustion, and the feeling that home care is a burden rather than a shared expression of care for the space that nurtures everyone. The Japanese practice of Otagai-sama, meaning we're in this together, offers a revolutionary approach that transforms home maintenance from individual obligation into collective care. The philosophy of collective responsibility. Otagai-sama recognizes that everyone who benefits from a peaceful, organized home should contribute to creating and maintaining that environment. But this isn't about rigid chore assignments or nagging family members. It's about cultivating a culture where caring for shared spaces becomes a natural expression of respect for both the space and the people who share it. Creating a culture of Otagai-sama. Leading by example. The transformation begins with one person demonstrating joyful care for the home. When others see someone finding satisfaction and peace in home care, they naturally begin to participate. Appreciation over criticism. Every contribution, no matter how small, deserves acknowledgement. A sincere thank you for putting dishes away has more power to create lasting change than any criticism about what wasn't done. Collaborative moments. Instead of assigning individual tasks, create shared experiences. Put on music and spend 15 minutes together straightening common areas. Make it social rather than solitary. Age-appropriate involvement. Children can participate in meaningful ways from an early age. A 3-year-old can put toys in bins. A 7-year-old can set the table. A teenager can take responsibility for their own spaces and contribute to common areas. The ritual approach. Some families practicing Otagai-sama create weekly rituals where everyone participates in home care together. This might be Sunday evening preparation for the week ahead or Saturday morning home care with everyone taking responsibility for different areas. These rituals often become cherished family time, opportunities for conversation, music, and shared accomplishment. The home care becomes secondary to the connection and cooperation. Addressing resistance. Not everyone immediately embraces shared responsibility, especially if individual ownership of home care has been the long-established pattern. Change happens gradually through consistency, appreciation, and demonstrating that shared care creates a better experience for everyone. Focus on natural consequences rather than enforcement. When common areas are cared for collectively, they're more pleasant for everyone. When individuals take responsibility for their own spaces, they experience the satisfaction of order and beauty. The transformation effect. Households practicing Otagai-sama report not just cleaner homes, but stronger relationships and reduced stress around domestic responsibilities. Children grow up understanding that caring for shared spaces is a natural part of community living. Most remarkably, when everyone contributes to home care, the spaces seem to maintain themselves more easily. There's less mess created when everyone feels responsible for the cleanup and small problems are addressed before they become large ones. The home transforms from a place where one person works to maintain order into a space where everyone contributes to creating harmony. Secret number 8. Codo, creating atmosphere through intentional scent. Close your eyes and think about a place where you felt completely at peace. Perhaps your grandmother's kitchen, a favorite vacation spot, or a friend's welcoming home. Chances are, scent played a role in that memory. Our sense of smell connects directly to the emotional centers of our brain, making it one of the most powerful tools for creating atmosphere and emotional connection to space. The Japanese practice of Codo, the way of fragrance, elevates scent from mere air freshening to intentional atmosphere creation. It's about using natural aromas to support the emotional and spiritual qualities you want your home to embody. The science of scent and space. Research confirms that scent affects mood, memory formation, and even perceived cleanliness. A space can be spotless but feel unwelcoming if the scent is wrong, while a room with pleasant, natural fragrance feels more inviting even during everyday messiness. Codo recognizes that different spaces benefit from different aromatic atmospheres, and that scents should change with seasons, activities, and times of day. Creating your home's scent identity. Morning energizers. Citrus scents like lemon, grapefruit, or bergamot create alertness and optimism. Use these in kitchens and breakfast areas to support morning energy. Afternoon clarity. Herbal scents like rosemary, eucalyptus, or mint enhance focus and mental clarity. These work well in home offices or study areas. Evening relaxation. Lavender, sandalwood, or chamomile promote relaxation and prepare the mind for rest. These are perfect for bedrooms and evening living spaces. Seasonal connections. Change scents with seasons to maintain freshness and connection to natural cycles. Spring might bring floral scents, summer fresh herbs, autumn warming spices, and winter evergreen or cinnamon. Natural methods for scent creation. Essential oil diffusion. Use ultrasonic diffusers to disperse pure essential oils without synthetic additives or overwhelming intensity. Herbal sachets. Create small cloth bags filled with dried herbs, flowers, or spices to tuck into drawers, closets, or under furniture cushions. Simmering potpourri. Gently simmer water with citrus peels, herbs, or spices to create natural, temporary fragrance for special occasions or seasonal celebrations. Living aromatics. Certain plants naturally purify air and provide gentle fragrance. Jasmine, gardenias, or herb gardens create living scent sources. The ritual of scent care. Practicing Codo includes regular attention to removing unwanted odors before adding pleasant ones. This might mean addressing sources of mustiness, improving ventilation, or deep cleaning areas that trap odors. The practice also includes seasonal clearing, periods where you allow spaces to air out completely before introducing new seasonal scents. Scent and memory creation. One of the most beautiful aspects of Codo is how it creates positive associations with your home. Children who grow up with pleasant natural home fragrances carry those positive scent memories throughout their lives, and visitors begin to associate your home with specific pleasant experiences. The subtle power. Properly practiced Codo is nearly invisible. People feel better in your home without necessarily identifying scent as the reason. The fragrance supports the overall atmosphere rather than competing for attention, creating a subliminal sense of welcome, cleanliness, and care. Secret 9. Kaizen no Kukai. Continuous space evolution. Think about your home as it was 5 years ago compared to today. Your lifestyle has likely evolved. Perhaps you work from home more, have different hobbies, or your family structure has changed. Yet many of our homes remain frozen in past configurations, trying to serve lives that have moved on. The Japanese principle of Kaizen no Kukai applies the concept of continuous improvement specifically to living spaces, recognizing that homes should evolve with the people who inhabit them. The philosophy of space evolution. Kaizen no Kukai recognizes that homes are living systems that should adapt and improve continuously rather than being set up once and left unchanged. It's about making small, regular adjustments that keep your environment aligned with your current reality. The stagnation problem. Many homes suffer from spatial stagnation, arrangements that once made sense but now create daily friction. The chair that became a clothes storage area. The dining room that's never used for dining. The spare room that's become a catch-all for items without homes. These spatial problems create ongoing stress because they require you to work around arrangements that don't serve your actual lifestyle. Implementing continuous space improvement. Monthly space reviews. Set aside time each month to evaluate how well different areas of your home are serving your needs. Ask yourself, what areas create daily frustration or inefficiency? What activities do I do regularly that lack proper spatial support? What furniture or arrangements no longer serve their intended purpose? The 2-week test. When you identify a potential improvement, try it for 2 weeks before making permanent changes. Move furniture, reorganize storage, or try new systems. Some changes that seem good in theory don't work in practice, while others exceed expectations. Seasonal adaptations. Use seasonal changes as opportunities for spatial evolution. Winter might require different lighting, summer different ventilation, while changing activities throughout the year might need different spatial configurations. The small change principle. Kaizen no Kukai emphasizes small, incremental improvements rather than dramatic overhauls. Moving a lamp to improve reading light, adjusting shelf heights for better accessibility, or relocating frequently used items to more convenient locations. These small changes compound over time, creating homes that function increasingly smoothly, while avoiding the disruption and expense of major renovations. Tracking what works. Keep mental or written notes about changes that improve your daily experience. This helps you identify patterns in what works for your lifestyle and guides future improvements. Notice which changes stick naturally and which ones you abandon. The changes that feel effortless to maintain are usually aligned with your natural patterns, while those that require constant effort might need further adjustment. The evolution mindset. Practicing Kaizen no Kukai changes how you view your home from a static arrangement to a dynamic, responsive environment. You become more observant of how spaces affect your daily experience and more confident in making adjustments.
This mindset prevents the feeling of being stuck with spatial arrangements that don't serve you, while building skills in creating functional, beautiful environments. The compound effect. Over time, continuous small improvements create homes that feel custom designed for the people who live there. Visitors often comment that such homes feel especially comfortable and functional, even when they can't identify specific reasons why. The spaces begin to support your best habits and life patterns while minimizing daily frustration and frustration.
Secret Heart 10. Kokoro-wo-komeru. Infusing heart into home care. Have you ever noticed the difference between a meal prepared with love and one made merely for nutrition? Even if the ingredients are identical, something intangible but unmistakable distinguishes food prepared with care and attention from food made on autopilot. The same principle applies to every aspect of home care. Kokoro-wo-komeru, meaning putting your heart into what you do, transforms routine household tasks from mindless obligations into meaningful expressions of care for yourself and your living space. The energy of intention. When you perform home care tasks with presence and intention, the energy changes, both yours and the space's. Making a bed becomes preparing a sanctuary for rest. Wiping counters becomes clearing space for creativity. Watering plants becomes nurturing life that beautifies your environment. This isn't mystical thinking, it's practical psychology. When you approach tasks with attention and care rather than resistance and hurry, you experience them differently. The task itself becomes a form of meditation, and the results carry the energy of your attention. Transforming daily tasks. Mindful cleaning. Before beginning any cleaning task, pause and set an intention. Perhaps you're creating space for peace, clearing away the day's stress, or preparing your home to welcome you after work. Clean with attention to the process rather than rushing toward completion. Cooking as care. Approach meal preparation as nourishment creation rather than obligation fulfillment. Notice textures, colors, and aromas. Consider how the meal will nourish your body and bring pleasure to your senses. Conscious organization. When putting items in their proper places, do so with appreciation for having a designated home for everything. Folding clothes becomes caring for the items that serve you daily. The gratitude practice. Kokoro-wo-komeru includes gratitude for your home and possessions. As you clean, organize, or maintain items, acknowledge their service to your life. This prevents the accumulation of resentment toward home care and builds appreciation for the shelter and comfort your home provides. Seasonal celebrations. Some practitioners create seasonal rituals around home care. Spring cleaning as renewal. Autumn organizing as preparation for cozy winter months. Summer deep cleaning as celebration of light and energy. These rituals transform necessary maintenance into meaningful transitions that mark the passage of time and connect you more deeply to natural cycles. The presence practice. The key to Kokoro-wo-komeru is presence rather than perfection. It's not about having a spotless home, but about bringing attention and care to whatever level of home maintenance fits your current life circumstances. Even 5 minutes of mindful straightening can shift the energy of your space and your relationship to it. The duration matters less than the quality of attention you bring to the activity. The ripple effect. When you care for your home with heart, the space begins to reflect that energy back to you. Others who enter your home sense the care, even if they can't articulate what feels different. Children who grow up experiencing home care as loving attention rather than burdensome obligation develop healthier relationships with their own living spaces as adults. Beyond individual benefit. Practicing Kokoro-wo-komeru contributes to a larger cultural shift away from viewing home care as drudgery towards seeing it as creative expression and self-care. When enough people approach home care with heart, it influences how society values and supports this essential work. Secret 11. Motenai. Honoring what you already have. In our consumer culture, the solution to home organization problems often seems to be buying new storage systems, replacing old furniture, or acquiring better organizing tools. But what if the answer isn't in getting more, but in deeply appreciating and maximizing what you already possess? Motenai is a Japanese concept that expresses regret over waste, but goes far deeper than simple conservation. It's about recognizing the inherent value in everything you already have and finding creative ways to honor and utilize these resources fully. The psychology of appreciation. When you approach your possessions with Motenai consciousness, you begin to see possibilities instead of problems. That jar without a lid becomes a perfect desk organizer. Old t-shirts become excellent cleaning cloths. Furniture that seems dated might just need repositioning or simple restoration to become beautiful again. This shift in perspective reduces the impulse to constantly acquire new solutions and builds creative problem-solving skills that serve you in all areas of life. Practical Motenai applications. Repurposing before replacing. Before discarding any item, consider alternative uses. Glass containers become storage solutions. Old sheets become drop cloths or gift wrapping. Worn towels become cleaning rags. Restoration over replacement. Many items can be restored to beauty and function with minimal effort. Furniture can be cleaned, painted, or rearranged. Clothes can be mended or altered. Electronics can often be repaired more affordably than replaced. Creative storage solutions. Use items you already have as organizers before buying new ones. Shoe boxes become drawer dividers. Baskets serve multiple organizing functions. Small containers sort office supplies or craft materials. The maintenance mindset. Motenai includes caring for possessions to extend their useful life. This might mean regular cleaning and maintenance, proper storage to prevent damage, or learning simple repair skills that keep items functioning longer. When you care for possessions well, they serve you longer and maintain their beauty, reducing the need for frequent replacement. Breaking the consumer cycle. Practicing Motenai gradually reduces the impulse to solve problems through purchasing. Instead of automatically shopping for solutions, you first explore what you already have that might serve the need. This doesn't mean never buying anything new, but rather making acquisition a conscious choice after exploring existing resources. The creativity catalyst. Working with what you have rather than always buying new solutions develops creative thinking and resourcefulness. You begin to see your home through the lens of possibility rather than limitation, leading to unique solutions that perfectly fit your specific needs. This creative approach often results in more personalized, interesting spaces than those created through retail solutions, because your solutions emerge from your actual lifestyle and possessions. Environmental and financial benefits. Motenai naturally reduces consumption, which benefits both your budget and the environment. When you maximize the use of existing possessions, you buy less, waste less, and develop a more sustainable relationship with material goods. The financial savings can be substantial, especially when applied to home organization and decoration, areas where retail solutions can be expensive. The gratitude connection. Central to Motenai is deep appreciation for what you already have. This practice counters the modern tendency to focus on what's missing or inadequate, instead cultivating satisfaction with current resources. This shift in perspective affects not just home organization, but overall life satisfaction, building contentment and reducing the anxiety that constantly feel like you need more.
Secret 12. Ashimoto. Sacred care for what supports you. Here's something most people never consider. The floor of your home bears the weight of your entire life. Every step you take, every piece of furniture you place, every activity you perform is supported by this foundation that rarely receives focused attention or appreciation. In Japanese philosophy, Ashimoto means at your feet, and represents the practice of caring deeply for the surfaces and spaces that literally support your daily life. This isn't just about cleanliness, it's about honoring the foundation that makes all other aspects of home life possible. The foundation principle. When floors are well maintained, everything else in your home looks better and feels more stable. Conversely, when floors are neglected, even beautifully organized rooms feel somehow off or uncomfortable. Ashimoto recognizes that floor care affects the energy flow throughout your entire home. In many traditional Japanese homes, the quality of floor maintenance is considered a reflection of the inhabitants' respect for their living space. Creating sacred ground. The shoe transition. One of the most powerful Ashimoto practices is creating a clear transition between outdoor and indoor spaces. This might mean establishing a dedicated area for removing shoes, using high-quality doormats, or creating a ritual around entering your home. This transition serves both practical and psychological purposes, protecting floor surfaces while creating a mental shift from outside world chaos to home sanctuary. Weekly floor devotion. Dedicate time each week specifically for floor care that goes beyond routine sweeping or vacuuming. This might include moving furniture to clean underneath, wiping baseboards, or using natural oils to nourish wood surfaces. The corners and edges. Pay special attention to corners, under furniture edges, and along baseboards where dust and energy tend to accumulate. These overlooked areas often hold stagnant energy that affects the whole room. Natural floor care. Ashimoto emphasizes using natural, pleasant-scented cleaning solutions that nourish surfaces rather than just removing dirt. Essential oils added to cleaning water can make floor care a sensory pleasure rather than a chore. Different floor types benefit from different natural treatments. Wood floors might appreciate occasional oil treatments, while tile floors shine with vinegar solutions and carpets benefit from regular deep cleaning with natural products. The barefoot test. A simple way to evaluate your floor care is the barefoot test. Would you comfortably walk barefoot throughout your home? Areas that fail this test need attention, while spaces that pass create a foundation for comfort and relaxation. Safety as sacred care. Ashimoto includes eliminating trip hazards, ensuring good lighting for safe navigation, and maintaining surfaces that provide secure footing. This practical care demonstrates respect for the people who move through your space. The energy flow effect. Well-maintained floors create better energy flow throughout your home. When you're not unconsciously worried about what you might step on or slip on, you move through your space with more confidence and peace. Clean, beautiful floors also provide a foundation that makes all your other home care efforts more effective. Furniture looks better, rooms feel more spacious, and the overall atmosphere improves dramatically. Households that practice Ashimoto often find that floor care becomes a form of moving meditation that centers and grounds them. The physical act of caring for the foundation of your home creates emotional stability and connection to their living space.
Secret number 13. Tene Nakarashi, the art of deliberate living. In our hyper-connected, constantly accelerating world, it's easy to move through your home on autopilot, rushing from task to task, room to room, barely noticing the spaces that surround and support your daily life. But what if slowing down, even slightly, could transform not just how your home feels, but how your entire life unfolds? Tene Nakarashi translates as living carefully or living deliberately, and it represents a conscious choice to move through daily life with greater presence, intention, and appreciation for the small moments that actually comprise most of our existence. The rush trap. Modern life encourages speed and efficiency above all else, but this approach often sacrifices the very experiences that bring satisfaction and peace. When applied to home life, constant rushing means missing opportunities for connection, beauty, and restoration that your living space offers. Tene Nakarashi proposes that slowing down doesn't mean getting less done, it means experiencing more richness in what you do accomplish. Transforming daily rituals. Morning awakening. Instead of immediately checking phones or rushing into the day's demands, create a few moments of conscious transition from sleep to waking. This might include stretching while still in bed, taking 3 deep breaths, or simply noticing the quality of light in your bedroom. Meal preparation. Transform cooking from rushed fuel gathering into nourishing creativity. This might mean taking a moment to appreciate ingredients, preparing food with attention to colors and textures, or setting a simple but beautiful table even for everyday meals. Evening transitions. Create rituals that mark the transition from day to night, work to rest. This could include lighting candles, changing into comfortable clothes with conscious appreciation, or taking a few minutes to tidy your living space as a gesture of care. The sensory awareness practice. Tene Nakarashi includes regularly engaging your senses within your home environment. Notice the way afternoon light falls across your kitchen table. Appreciate the texture of a favorite blanket. Observe how your home smells different in various seasons. This sensory awareness creates deeper connection to your living space and increases appreciation for the comfort and beauty already present in your daily environment. Choosing quality over quantity. This philosophy extends to how you furnish and decorate your home. Rather than filling spaces with many inexpensive items, Tene Nakarashi suggests choosing fewer items of better quality that you genuinely love and will care for over time. This might mean saving for one beautiful piece of furniture rather than buying several adequate ones, or choosing handmade items that carry the energy of their creators rather than mass-produced alternatives. The technology balance. Practicing Tene Nakarashi often includes creating boundaries around technology use within your home. This might mean designated phone-free zones, specific times for checking emails, or choosing entertainment that enhances rather than numbs your connection to your living space. Seasonal awareness. Living deliberately includes noticing and honoring natural cycles within your home. This might mean adjusting lighting as days grow shorter, changing textiles to reflect seasonal temperatures, or incorporating seasonal elements like flowers or natural decorations. The guest perspective. Regularly viewing your home through the eyes of a welcomed guest helps maintain Tene Nakarashi consciousness. What would someone notice who was seeing your space for the first time? What experiences would you want to offer someone you cared about? This perspective often reveals opportunities to enhance beauty, comfort, or functionality that you might overlook when moving through spaces habitually. The compound effect of deliberate living. When you consistently practice Tene Nakarashi, your home begins to reflect and support a more intentional way of living. Spaces that are tended with care invite continued care. Routines performed with attention become sources of satisfaction rather than drudgery. Most remarkably, this deliberate approach to home life often extends to other areas, creating more intentional relationships, work practices, and personal habits.
Secret 14. Shikata, Intelligent Space Optimization. Look around your current living space and ask yourself this question. Is every square foot working as hard as it could to support your daily life? Most homes, regardless of size, contain significant untapped potential. Spaces that could serve multiple functions, storage areas that could be more accessible, or arrangements that could flow more efficiently. Shikata, meaning the way to do something, represents the Japanese approach to making spaces work intelligently for the people who inhabit them. It's about creating maximum function and beauty within whatever space constraints you have. The small space mastery. Japanese culture has perfected the art of making small spaces feel spacious and functional through clever design principles that anyone can apply. The key isn't having more space, it's using existing space more thoughtfully. Vertical territory. Most people underutilize vertical space.
Walls can support storage, surfaces can be layered at different heights, and tall, narrow storage creates more capacity than wide, shallow alternatives. Dual-purpose solutions. Every piece of furniture should ideally serve multiple functions. Ottoman storage provides seating and organization. Dining tables can serve as workspaces. Mirrors reflect light while creating the illusion of expanded space. Flexible arrangements. Instead of permanent room designations, consider how spaces might serve different functions at different times. A dining area might become a workspace during the day, or a living room might accommodate exercise routines when furniture is temporarily moved. The flow principle. Shikata emphasizes creating smooth movement patterns through your home. This means arranging furniture to create natural pathways, ensuring frequently used items are easily accessible, and eliminating bottlenecks that create daily friction. Observe how you actually move through your home during typical days. Where do you pause or feel frustrated? These friction points offer opportunities for Shikata improvements. Strategic storage systems. Frequency-based organization. Items used daily should be most accessible, while seasonal or occasional items can be stored in less convenient locations. This principle maximizes efficiency while minimizing wasted space. Transparent systems. When possible, use clear containers and open shelving that allow you to see contents at a glance. This reduces time spent searching and prevents duplicate purchases. Modular flexibility. Choose storage systems that can adapt as your needs change. Adjustable shelving, modular containers, and flexible organizers grow and change with your lifestyle. The Japanese room transformation. Traditional Japanese homes demonstrate ultimate shikata through rooms that transform completely based on need. While you might not install tatami mats and futons, you can apply this principle through furniture that moves easily, fold-away work surfaces, and storage systems that can be reconfigured. Technology integration. Modern shikata includes thoughtfully integrating technology to serve your space rather than dominate it. This might mean hidden cable management, designated charging stations, or entertainment systems that integrate seamlessly with your decor. The testing process. Implement shikata improvements gradually, testing new arrangements before making them permanent. Live with changes for at least 2 weeks to understand their real-world impact on your daily routines. The satisfaction factor. When shikata is successfully applied, your home begins to feel like it was custom designed for your specific lifestyle. Daily routines become smoother, you find things more easily, and your space supports your activities rather than hindering them. Visitors often comment that such homes feel larger and more organized than their square footage would suggest, and inhabitants experience reduced stress around daily home navigation. Secret number 15. Ichigo-Ichie. Honoring each moment's uniqueness. Here's a truth that might surprise you. You will never experience this exact moment in your home again. The quality of light, your current state of mind, the specific arrangement of objects, the particular season. All these factors combine to create a moment that is absolutely unique and will never be replicated exactly. Ichigo-Ichie, meaning one time, one meeting, is a Japanese philosophy that recognizes the irreplaceable value of each present moment. Applied to home life, it transforms ordinary domestic moments into opportunities for appreciation, presence, and joy. The ordinary sacred. Our culture teaches us to wait for special occasions to pay attention, to appreciate, to make things beautiful. Ichigo-Ichie suggests the opposite, that every moment offers opportunities for beauty and meaning if we have eyes to see them. This doesn't require dramatic changes or expensive additions to your home. It requires a shift in awareness that recognizes the potential sacredness in folding laundry, preparing breakfast, or simply sitting in your favorite chair. Present moment practices. Mindful transitions. Use doorways as reminders to pause and notice where you are. As you move from room to room, take a breath and observe something beautiful or meaningful in your current space. Sensory appreciation. Regularly engage your senses with your home environment. Notice how morning light differs from afternoon light.
Appreciate the texture of furniture, the scent of your space, or the sounds that indicate home to you. Gratitude moments. Throughout your day, pause to acknowledge something your home provides: shelter, beauty, comfort, privacy, or space for activities you enjoy. Creating micro-celebrations. Ichigo-Ichie includes marking ordinary moments as special through small gestures of beauty or attention. This might mean daily beauty rituals. Light a candle during dinner, even if it's just takeout. Use your beautiful dishes for everyday meals. Display fresh flowers, even if they're from your yard rather than a florist. Seasonal acknowledgments. Notice and celebrate small seasonal changes within your home, the way light shifts throughout the year, opportunities to open windows, or changes in what activities feel appealing. Personal ceremonies. Create small rituals around routine activities. Make your morning coffee with attention and appreciation. Set your table with care, regardless of what you're serving. Fold clothes with consciousness of caring for items that serve you. The photography perspective. Sometimes practicing Ichigo-Ichie means looking at your home as if you were seeing it for the first time, or as if you were trying to capture its beauty for someone else. This fresh perspective often reveals charm and beauty that habitual viewing overlooks. Sharing the moment. When family members or friends are present, Ichigo-Ichie might include acknowledging the specialness of being together in your space. This doesn't require formal ceremonies. Simply expressing appreciation for shared moments can transform ordinary time into meaningful memory. The memory creation. Understanding that each moment is unique helps you recognize that you're constantly creating the memories that will define your relationship with your home. Years from now, you'll remember not just the big occasions, but the quality of daily life you created through attention and appreciation. The compound effect of presence. When you regularly practice Ichigo-Ichie, several remarkable changes occur. Your home begins to feel more precious and meaningful. Ordinary tasks become opportunities for mindfulness and satisfaction. You develop deeper appreciation for the comfort and beauty already present in your life. Most surprisingly, time often feels both slower and more fulfilling when you're fully present to ordinary moments rather than rushing through them. Beyond individual practice, Ichigo-Ichie can transform how everyone in your household experiences home life. When one person consistently brings presence and appreciation to domestic moments, others often naturally begin to slow down and notice more as well. Children who grow up experiencing ordinary home moments as meaningful develop deeper appreciation for simple pleasures and stronger connections to the spaces that shelter their lives.
Conclusion. Your transformation begins now. As we reach the end of our journey through these 15 transformative Japanese principles, I want you to pause and consider something profound. Every single secret I've shared with you has the power to change not just how your home looks, but how you experience daily life within your walls. These aren't just organizing tips or cleaning hacks, they're ancient wisdoms that have helped countless people create homes that serve as sanctuaries, support systems, and sources of daily joy. They work because they address the root causes of domestic chaos, overwhelm, disconnection, and the modern epidemic of having too much stuff competing for too little space and attention. The integration process. You might feel inspired to implement all 15 principles immediately, but I encourage you to start with just one or two that resonate most deeply with your current situation. Perhaps you're drawn to the sacred cleaning ritual of Usuji, or maybe the conscious letting go of Danshari speaks to your need for simplicity. Choose the principle that feels most urgent for your current living situation and commit to practicing it for 2 weeks. Notice not just the physical changes in your space, but the emotional and psychological shifts that occur when you bring ancient wisdom to modern living. The ripple effect. Here's what's remarkable about these Japanese principles. They compound. When you start cleaning with presence, you naturally begin to appreciate empty space. When you practice vertical organization, you find yourself choosing quality over quantity. When you honor each moment as unique, you begin to care for your possessions with greater attention. Each principle supports and enhances the others, creating a comprehensive transformation that goes far beyond surface-level home improvement. Your unique expression. Remember that these principles are frameworks, not rigid rules. Your practice of Tene Nakarashi will look different from someone else's because your home, your lifestyle, and your aesthetic preferences are unique. The goal isn't to create a Japanese home, but to apply Japanese wisdom to create your most authentic, functional, and beautiful living space. The long-term vision. Imagine your home 6 months from now if you consistently apply even a few of these principles. Picture walking into spaces that support your best habits, reflect your authentic self, and provide daily opportunities for peace and beauty. Envision daily routines that feel like self-care rather than drudgery, and living spaces that energize rather than drain you. This isn't fantasy. It's the natural result of applying centuries-old wisdom to modern living challenges. Your community impact. When you transform your relationship with your home through these practices, you influence everyone who enters your space. Friends feel the peace and intentionality. Children learn that caring for shared spaces is a form of love. Partners experience the relief of living in harmony rather than chaos. You become part of a quiet revolution that values quality over quantity, presence over speed, and intentional living over unconscious accumulation. The commitment. Before you close this video and return to your daily routine, I want you to make a commitment, not to me, but to yourself and the people you share your life with. Choose one principle that spoke to you today and commit to practicing it for the next 2 weeks. Maybe it's implementing the 1-minute rule of Ishun-Ichi, starting each day with a moment of gratitude for your home, or beginning to see empty space as beautiful rather than waiting to be filled. Share your journey. I want to hear about your transformation. In the comments below, tell me which principle you're committing to try first and why it resonated with you. Share your experiences as you begin applying these ancient wisdoms to your modern life. And if this content has inspired you to transform your relationship with your home, please share this video with someone else who might benefit from these teachings. The principles work best when they're practiced in community, and your sharing might be exactly what someone needs to begin their own transformation. The continuous path. Remember that creating a harmonious home is not a destination, but a practice. There's no perfect endpoint where everything is finally done. Instead, these principles offer you a way of living that finds beauty, meaning, and satisfaction in the ongoing dance of creating and maintaining the spaces that shelter your life. Some days you'll practice these principles with grace and presence. Other days you'll fall back into old patterns. This is not failure, it's humanity. What matters is returning to the practices that serve you again and again with compassion for yourself and trust in the process. Your home, your sanctuary. Your home is waiting for you to see it with fresh eyes, to care for it with ancient wisdom, and to transform it into the sanctuary you deserve. These 15 Japanese principles are your tools for that transformation. The question isn't whether these principles work. They've been tested by centuries of practice. The question is whether you'll begin applying them today, starting with small steps that compound into profound change. Your transformed home and the transformed life that flows from it is waiting for you to begin. Thank you for joining me on this journey through ancient wisdom from modern living. Subscribe for more content that helps you create a home and life you truly love, and remember, every moment offers a new opportunity to practice these timeless principles. Your transformation begins now.